Hello everyone, today I would like to give you a short talk on weather. Now, there was no chance of rain. The speaker announced that evening the expected it would rain, and finally she announced that it would be clear the day after. Number 3. The speaker announced there is slight chance of rain that afternoon, and finally he announced it possibly have snow that evening. The speaker announced that day was very hottest day on record, but because it had the strong wind, so it was not too uncomfortable. And finally, the speaker commented that were not typical cool fall days. Number 6. The speaker announced the temperature had reached 21 degrees Celsius at the airport that afternoon at 2 o'clock. And next, the speaker commented that were not usual temperature in that time of years. But finally, she announced no one complained. Number 7. The speaker announced the clear sky that day was welcome relief after the thunderstorm the day before. And next, the speaker announced it would remain cool throughout the day. And finally, he has announced the people should watch out. The sky will be colder and more rain than the day before, but it no snow yet. Number 8. The speaker announced the people should throw away the umbrella and go out and enjoy the sunshine that day because the cloud was gone. Next, the speaker announced the people would have the full week of sunshine ahead of them. But finally, the man announced there was no chance of rain after the weekend. Number 9. The speaker announced all the beaches, local beaches, would close due to the strong wind on the weekend. And next, the speaker announced the cloud remain on the sky and the rest of the week. And next, the speaker announced the temperature would drop below the freezing cold that night, and there was slightly a chance of snow after the midnight. Number 10. The speaker announced that day was very high temperature, and it reached about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was average that day. Next, the speaker announced the high record had reached 90 degrees, and the low record reached 55 degrees. And next, the speaker announced what is now average that day was unusual rain in that fall. And finally, the speaker announced they was very happy to enjoy this clear sky, and she hoped the sunshine day would last on the rest of the week. Number 11. The speaker announced that was the rainiest spring ever, with the record of the week before the rain had reached 5 inches. And next, the speaker announced the sky would remain with the cloudy on the rest of the week. And finally, the speaker suggested didn't worry because the clear sky and the sunshine were just around the corner. Thank you for your listening. Number 1. The speaker announced the pollen count records were very high that day, and it was that high in 10 years ago. Next, the speaker announced because of the lack of rain, it caused the pollen would remain in the air longer than normal. And next, the speaker announced the people was very difficult to breathe and they were experiencing the symptoms similar to cold or bronchitis. Next, the speaker announced there was no rain in the 2 weeks after. And next, the speaker advised people should stay in the air-conditioned environment, or if they would go to the door or go outside, they should wear the protective masks. And finally, the man announced there are no rain in 2 weeks and the people must be carefully because the pollen count even higher the day after. Number 2, the speaker announced the cyclone wind were very strong and it has cut down the communication between 2 islands. And next, the speaker commented this one was not expected in that season. Next, the speaker announced it would be stay the same in next 36 hours. Finally, the man announced because of the warning from the Coastal Protection Agency on the boat with enzyme would remain in the port.